Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. This is, look, I said it last week and I'm going to say it again because the more we go further in this competition, the more this phrase is going to apply. You are now on the preview of all previews. Yeah, I said it last week because that was the most important game of our season. Tomorrow is the most important game of our season. And then if we make it through the semi-final, we'll beat the most important game of our season. Manchester City, after this, will be the most important game of our season. Right now, we are full of finals. We are full of important games of our season. So right now, as it stands, this is the preview of all previews. Welcome to your match preview for Chelsea versus Porto in the second leg of the quarter-final of the Champions League. Yes, I said that correctly. Yes, I did. Chelsea in the quarter-finals of the Champions League with one foot in the semi-finals of the Champions League. I have waited so flipping long, yeah? I'm sure many of you will understand exactly how I'm feeling right now. I've waited so long to say Chelsea are about to reach a Champions League semi-final. Oh boy, 2014 was the last time. Wow. You know, and look, going into that semi-final in 2014, we knew we had a big task on our hands. I feel like this season, it's different. When looking at Real Madrid and looking at Liverpool and looking at us, you just got this feeling that, you know what? We have what it takes. We have what it takes. We can go and beat a Liverpool, beat a Real Madrid. But look, firstly, we got to get past tomorrow, and that's against Porto. Now, talking about Porto, their manager came out in a press conference earlier today and went all guns blazing, you know, all guns blazing like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Jose Mourinho yesterday. They were firing shots at each other. This Porto manager decided to come out to the press conference and say that his players are ready to fight. They're ready to go into a war. Tomorrow they are going to fight. And, you know, just loads of war talk, like, you know, flipping. They're going to show up tomorrow with about 25 tanks, 85 AK-47s, about 5 helicopters and flipping, I don't know, 20 flipping F-16s or something to Seville. That's what it sounds like. I mean, look, I understand, yeah, the stakes are high, but keep the lingo a little bit down, you know? If you want to talk about fighting and you want to talk about war, just like Thomas Tuchel was told in the press conference and he decided to reply, he went, well, look, you know, if it was me, I wouldn't want to fight with Rudiger. I wouldn't want to fight with Kovacic. You know, I wouldn't want to fight with these sort of lads because they can fight. So, look, the challenge is accepted. The challenge is welcome. Porto, we are waiting for you. Bring it on and may the best team win. But right now, we have a leg in the semi-final. We have the advantage. We are in such a good position. We have 2 away goals. 2. Porto tomorrow need to score twice to even stand a chance of getting through to the semi-finals. They have to score 2. I mean, they came close to scoring 1 in the first leg. Let's have it right. Our defence done a good job. Edouard Mendy did a very good job. But Porto like to attack. I feel like tomorrow Porto are going to set up in a way where they just have to come at us. They just have to unleash. And I think that could set us up really nicely. You know, I think the game plan tomorrow is going to be quite simple. Keep the ball as much as possible. Simple as that. Because if you keep the ball as much as possible, your opponent's going to have less time on the ball. That's just logic. So, you know, if they are having to chase, they are having to go and get 2 goals, well, you want to keep the ball as much as possible. But not just that. You want to score. You want to win. You know, tomorrow isn't a case of just defend. And I'm seeing that a lot amongst the Chelsea fan base, especially on social media, like, oh, tomorrow we can lose 1-0. As Thomas Tuchel said, that's not the right attitude to take. That is really not, because subconsciously you are setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for a limitation. And that's not acceptable. You know, tomorrow is a case of, you know, aim for the stars and you'll at least reach the moon. You know, that's a saying that is quite common here in England. I don't know about other countries across the world. I'm sure you all have your different sort of proverbs and your different sayings and different quotes and this, that and the other. But you get the gist. Tomorrow, we go for the win. We go for the win and, you know, we might end up with a draw. You know, big deal. We're through. It's as simple as that. But tomorrow, we go for the win. When you look at our performance against Porto, you look at our performance against Crystal Palace, well, why not go to the second leg and beat Porto? We can beat them. And especially, as I've said, with how the game is set up tomorrow, we're in a situation where Porto have to score twice. They are going to have to go attacking. They are going to have to come at us. So tactically, Thomas Tuchel and Chelsea know exactly what to expect, which means that we can plan around it. So look, tomorrow I think we're going to have a lot of space to exploit. I think tomorrow we're going to have a lot of chances to try and hit Porto on that counter-attack. And not just that, but even on the attack, try and put them on the back foot. Try and make them panic. Because as I've said, if we keep the ball as much as possible and we try and take the game to them and we put them on the back foot, they're just going to get frustrated. They're going to know time is ticking. They haven't got time to waste. And if they're on the back foot all the time, they're going to start losing their heads because they're going to start panicking and thinking, we need to flip and score. We need to get out of this. But this team are too good. Fingers crossed. Anyway, fingers crossed they're going to say that. Not taking anything away from Porto. They have good quality. They have some good individualities that we've got to look out for, especially in that front line. So our defence tomorrow and the way that we're set up needs to be very solid. But in terms of that starting lineup, who should be selected? Who should be picked? You know, bearing in mind the Porto first leg, bearing in mind Crystal Palace where we won 4-1. What lineup do we go with? Well, in regards to team news, Thomas Tuchel has said that everyone is fit. Pretty much. We haven't got anyone that's out, if I'm not mistaken. Kante has travelled. I mean, Christensen has travelled. Everyone's travelled. So I'm expecting a full squad in terms of selection, but there are some reservations. You know, Kante, for example, he's not going to play 90 minutes. He might not even play. He's travelled, but he might not even play. Christensen, he's back, but he might not even play. You know, so we got to take that into context and to really try and come up with a side that will be, you know, adapted well, fit enough, and ready to compete at that highest level without any risk to injury. Fingers crossed. Anyway, we'll go into the starting 11. What starting 11 should Thomas Tuchel go with? Well, let's check it out. So, in terms of that starting 11, I think the formation is going to be quite set. We're sticking with that back three. That is night and day now. It's expected for at least the rest of the season. We are going to be playing in a back three. So we'll start off with, and the goalkeeper has to be Mr. Well, it's not Kepa, Edouard Mendy. Edouard Mendy for sure. He's been magnificent. I don't think he's getting enough praise, if I'm being honest. I mean, taking that Crystal Palace game to the side, because we really shouldn't talk about that game. Edouard Mendy, despite conceding one, he could have had a nap. He could have had a packet of crisps. He could have had a packet of nuts. He could have had a tea. He could have had a full English if he wanted to. It was that calm for him, especially in that first half. So, but aside from that, the Porto first leg, for example, what a display. What an absolute display. So, look, Edouard Mendy has to play. If we move into the back three, this is where it does get a little bit interesting. I mean, Azpilicueta, without question, needs to be selected. Has to be selected. He's been a beast. He's been an amazing captain. His experience has shown through. The role that he's playing at the moment at right centre-back, it just fits him. And despite the worries of his age, despite the worries of his legs, he's still going strong every game. He's literally playing every single game. But he looks fresh every single game. So, honestly, Azpilicueta has been an absolute beast. If we go into left centre-back, I think it's key that Antonio Rudiger needs to play, of course. The guy is an absolute tank, especially under Thomas Tuchel, and recently he's just looked superb. So there's no reason to drop him. Rudiger plays. In the middle, we had Christensen come out with a knock because of what he picked up in training. So Zuma had to fill in the game against Crystal Palace. And Zuma done really well. He done really well. The Zuma that we wanted to show up, showed up. And he scored. So now we have a selection issue. Do we go with Zuma? Do we go with Christensen? Or do we go with Thiago Silva in the experience? Because all three are now looking good. Silva, we know what to expect. Christensen has looked like a maestro this season in the absence of Thiago Silva. And Kurt Zuma now looks like he has amended the couple of errors that he's made in previous games. And against Crystal Palace, he done very well. If it were me though, I would go with Thiago Silva. For one reason. Experience. Tomorrow, we need to have cool heads. We need to have a very solid mentality. We need to be strong up here. And despite us having 2 away goals, I don't want us to be in a situation, and Thomas Tuchel said this in the press conference in terms of keeping our heads. I don't want us to be in a situation where we concede 1, for example, and the players begin to lose themselves. Thiago Silva, we know we can completely rely on. Even if we concede, he'll know exactly what to do. I mean, the experience is there. He played the Champions League final just last season. So I have no worries in terms of Thiago Silva and no worries in terms of him playing if we were to go down by a goal, for example. So for me, just for experience, I'd go with Thiago Silva, but that's not taking anything away from Kurt Zouma or Andreas Christensen, because I think they've been amazing. If we move forward into left wing back, Mr. Ben Chilwell has to play. Ben Chilwell has to play. There's no two ways about it. He's looked brilliant. And even against Crystal Palace, he got a little bit too overconfident in some occasions where he could have passed. Instead, he went for the shot because he scored against Porto. But it's nice to see his confidence is up. And he's playing very well going forward, which is the one worry that I had. I thought going forward, he might get caught up a little bit. He might not be as effective. But it looks like he's learned very, very well. And recently, he's been fantastic. So for me, he's playing at left wing back. Right wing back, Reece James. The return of the Reece. The return of the flipping Reece. Now, Hudson-Odoi done a very good job against Crystal Palace. But tomorrow we need solidity. We need defensive solidity. And Reece James, we know can provide that. Provide that absolutely outstandingly. So, for me, he starts. In terms of the double pivot, I think it's safe to say we're not going to risk N'Golo Kante. At least from the start. So, for me, it's going to have to be Jorginho and it's going to have to be Mateo Kovacic. Those two, at least against Crystal Palace, looked fantastic. I was worried about Jorginho that he might put on a West Brom performance. He didn't. He looked really good. So, look, I'm expecting a top performance from them too. Hopefully defensively as well as offensively. Offensively, we know how good they both can be. Kovacic with how direct he plays. Jorginho with how elegant he can move and how good he can pick out a nice through ball or a ball over the top. But defensively, interceptions, being solid, being physical, I want both of them to do that. And I think they both can do it. Kovacic, we know, can do it. And Jorginho, we know, can intercept very well, as he did against Crystal Palace. So fair play to him. If we move forward up the pitch, the two centre mids, well, the two central attacking midfielders, well, you know what? Let me round this up into the front three. Because I done a video yesterday in terms of should we keep the same front three as we did against Crystal Palace. Mason Mount, Pulisic and Kai Havertz. Because it worked really well. Well, for this game, in the context of us going to win, because let's face it, as I've said, we shouldn't go to there and try and defend. We need to go there and win. Score goals. Try and up that confidence. I would try it again. I would try Mason Mount, Pulisic and Kai Havertz again. I really would do that. I think they just had a chemistry about them against Crystal Palace. From the get-go, from minute one, boom, 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 boom. It was crazy. If we do the same tomorrow, we'll be celebrating a semi-final spot in the first 10 minutes. It's as simple as that. And I would love that. I would love to celebrate in the first 10 minutes. That way for 80 minutes, we can honestly chill back, arms back, flipping, get a pina colada, do what you want and just relax. I would love that tomorrow. So for me, why fix something that's not broken? They looked incredible. They all had a fantastic game. Mount looked superb. Pulisic was man of the match. He looked absolutely fantastic. Kai Havertz, close to being man of the match, was absolutely fantastic. Stick with them again. Why not? So for me, tomorrow, I would go with them three. Especially in terms of the intensity, the press, the energy, the creativity, the speed to their game, and the way that they were moving about for each other. Why not do it again? So for me, that would be my starting 11. Now, in terms of a score prediction, this is where it normally goes wrong for me. Although, yesterday, when I did the Tottenham-Manchester United watch-along, I got it spot on. Yeah? I said at the beginning of the watch-along, I'm going 3-1 Man United. And then in the last minute, it ended 3-1 Man United. So look, I got that right. Maybe for Chelsea matches, if I could get it right too, that would be great. My prediction for tomorrow will be Chelsea 2, Porto 1. I think Porto are going to come all guns blazing, and I would watch out for that. And that's why I'm saying, they're going to score 1. I think that they're going to press up so high and try and create so many chances that I think they might get 1 in the net. But on the bounce, I think we can score 2 again and just kill the tie off. In terms of the aggregate score, Chelsea 4, Porto 1. Chelsea go on to the semi-finals of the Champions League, and we start getting that buzz again, that oh my God, it might happen. It might actually happen. If we get past Porto tomorrow, look, I said this when we beat Atletico. I said if we knock Atletico out, we can begin to dream. I'm already dreaming. What I'm going to say now is if we win tomorrow or we get past Porto and we get ourselves into the semi-final of the Champions League, we can begin to think we're going to win the whole damn thing. Not just get to Istanbul. I mean, really believe we're going to lift the flipping trophy. That is how I'm thinking right now. So, Bring it on, Chelsea. Bring it on. Let's bring it home. And honestly, look, I'm hoping for a top performance and a good display and a good result. And hopefully we get to the semi-finals. Let me know what all of you think in the comment section below. What starting 11 would you go with? Who would you select? What score prediction would you go with? How do you think it's going to finish? Let me know. I would love to hear it. Thank you all so much for watching. If you are new, hit that subscribe button. Much appreciated. Smash the like button if you did enjoy this video. Check out my social media links in the description. I will see all of you tomorrow for the watch along. Don't forget to be there for that. And then immediately afterwards, I will give you guys the match review where hopefully we're all doing the bounce. And we're all jumping up and down and celebrating and going mental at the fact that we have made the semi-finals of the Champions League for the first time in 7 years. 7 years. Have Chelsea returned? We'll find out tomorrow. I'll see all of you tomorrow on the watch along. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a good one. Look after yourselves. Take care. And peace.